some update on all of the drama. Welcome to Street Scores, it's your boy Rico bringing y'all a regular season edition of Redskins Report. Today's topics: Trent Williams, contract mess, and where to go from here. Dwayne Haskins starting rep, Derrius Guice is back, injury report, Quinton Dunbar best corner in the league, and fake fans. There's a lot to talk about today, man. Let's get it. First topic, Trent Williams update. The Trent Williams drama only gets even more interesting by the day. It's always something new with this team, headlining all of the various information I'm presenting to y'all today as of Wednesday. I gave y'all a big update up till Tuesday, which was yesterday. Now I'm giving y'all everything that has just happened today alone, as in Wednesday, October 30th, 2019. And even though it's only been a day since I last hit y'all up with some news, there's already a lot to report on. That's the reason I have two videos back-to-back days, mainly concerning with Trent Williams. First of all, for those of y'all who don't know what happened yesterday, I'll give y'all a really quick recap. Trent Williams was not traded before the 4 p.m. deadline, Tuesday, October 29th. Bruceless waited until the last minute, literally the last 48 hours, to actually hear out offers for Trent. But by then, teams like the Browns, who were originally offering great value, like a first-round pick, felt disrespected and decided to only offer Bruceless lesser value for Trent. The Browns were only willing to give up mid-round picks for Trent after the Redskins were being petty, stubborn, and just plain stupid.
Are you delusional? Do you suffer from a mental illness?
So now he's reported to camp in an attempt to make sure his contract tolls. He wants this year's contract to count towards this year and not get moved back another year, so he can get out of his contract and off this team as soon as he possibly can. The Redskins also failed to trade Josh Norman away, and nobody else was traded who had even slight rumors to their name. Ryan Kerrigan, Adrian Peterson, Paul Richardson, and Landon Collins. People like that. Nobody was traded. Now today, Trent Williams reported to Wednesday's practice and took his physical. He passed all of the typical parts of a physical, but then he said he had discomfort putting his helmet on. He didn't practice today because of this. And for anybody who isn't caught up on his head situation, just to take it back a little, Trent Williams' whole reason for holding out against the Redskins is because he went and had a doctor's visit and found out he had a pretty dangerous tumor in his scalp, which he immediately had removed. It is debatable whether or not he has the right to be mad at the Redskins organization, because it is reported that they warned him like 2 years ago to go and get a second opinion on it. But that's neither here nor there at this point. What's already happened has happened. But that's the source for the hate that Trent Williams has for the Redskins. The disdain, at least. Maybe not hate, but disagreement. And it's also the source for the head discomfort in his helmet. So now the Redskins will use a 2-week roster exemption on Trent Williams since he won't practice, which will give them a 2-week grace period to decide whether or not to activate him after the bye in week 10. At the end of the 2-week period, he will either 1, play in discomfort or pain, or 2, the Redskins can choose to pay him or not, let his contract toll or not, by putting him on the NFI, the non-football injury list. Trent Williams definitely doesn't want the second option. He already knows the Redskins are petty enough to do it too.
Do you really know?
His whole purpose of returning and reporting back to Washington was to make sure his contract told, to make sure it counted, so that he can only have 1 year in his contract with the Redskins left after this season. If the Redskins put him on the NFI list, then he will end up having 2 years remaining on his contract again next year, which is what he doesn't want the most. So my assumption is that he looked through the language of his contract and found this helmet discomfort excuse idea as a way to get another 2 weeks off from practicing and playing football. And when that 2-week buffer is over, he'll just be forced to practice and play. Otherwise, he'd have to go through all of this all over again next year if he isn't traded away. But as of right now, he can't return to the team until he passes his physical, even though I'm pretty sure he failed it on purpose. Now, the Redskins believed they could get greater value than a second-round pick for him, which is what they were offered fairly recently. They are happy with waiting to trade him until February or March, as reported. But you also have Bill Callahan, with him being an offensive line specialist and guru, trying to keep one of the best offensive linemen in the league on his team. now that he's the head coach. He said he spoke to Trent Williams for an hour today discussing what's been going on with the team. Callahan, who seems to be a person Trent can trust, said that Trent's heart is in the right place, that he is an elite offensive lineman, and that their talks will continue on a fairly day-to-day basis to stay up to date on everything. So Bill Callahan is on his neck.
We speak! We will not go away!
Callahan is seemingly doing everything he can to keep Trent Williams here. But it's just a shame when the first-round quarterback didn't meet the team's best offensive lineman in person until almost Halloween. That man Haskins said he was surprised how tall Trent was. We truly are dysfunctional. But honestly though, if he is willing to be on contract for another 2 years and has faith that the Redskins will be able to trade him, he might as well just sit out the rest of this season. All of the way through. It would be smarter, really. The way his contract is set up, if he doesn't play, he'll make like $5.7 million this season. If he does play and risk getting hurt in another way and possibly mess up his future money, he will only make a little over $5.8 million this season. So, if it was me, I'd eat that slightly over $100,000 and just not play. But it's up to him though. Depends on how much he hates being on this team.
Bro.
Now we're done with Trent, we're on to Dwayne Haskins. More specifically, Dwayne Haskins starting. Rookie Ohio State quarterback, Dwayne Haskins took the majority of the first team reps in practice today. And for one of the only times this season, rather than starting practice with position drills, they got right in and started with starters versus starters. So it looks like they're trying to get him as many reps as possible, get him acclimated to being a starting quarterback as soon as possible. Thank goodness. I know some people want him to sit out for the rest of the season. I don't. I want him to go ahead and learn how to be a starting quarterback. Not even just on the field on Sundays, but also at home when studying film and learning the playbook, and at practice when he's actually finally getting meaningful reps against the first team defense with the first team offense, most importantly, first team receivers like Terry McLaurin. Some advice for the Redskins? Like I mentioned in my previous video about why Dwayne Haskins should start as soon as possible. And if you want to hear more about why I want Dwayne Haskins starting so soon in much further detail, go check out my previous video. But as I was saying, some advice for the Redskins coaching staff, specifically Kevin O'Connell and Bill Callahan: simplify the playbook to plays he's comfortable with, and then work from there instead of trying to force him to learn everything at once. It's clear that the 2 times he's been thrown out there to the Wolves, he has struggled mightily with the pre-snap process. He has delayed getting the team out of huddles and lined up. So when he gets to the line of scrimmage, his mind is all over the place and scattered. This isn't helping his development of reading defenses either. He's too focused on and occupied with what his offense is supposed to be doing, rather than analyzing what the defense is doing. And he has less time doing it too. The Redskins run one of the more complicated offenses in the league, believe it or not.
Lies, lies, and more lies.
You wouldn't think it with how many points we put up a game. But there's so many formations. Just like reporter Craig Hoffman said, bunch, bundle, cluster are all completely different things. All 3 of them. And they're out here throwing all of this at him at once. And mind you, he didn't get the necessary reps or any real starting reps in the offseason, preseason, or regular season for many weeks to even learn this complicated offense by this point. Ivy League, rumored to be the smartest guy in the NFL, Alex Smith, last year had an entire offseason worth of first team reps and coaching help and attention to learn the Redskins offense. And he still didn't have it down by the time he got hurt in week 10, even though he was winning games in spite of not having the offense down packed. But the point is, Haskins shouldn't be expected to learn this offense quicker and with far less reps, time, coaching, and any type of help than a 12-year Ivy League vet in Alex Smith. Also, another reason to simplify the playbook and the offense, for now, is because I'm sure Kevin O'Connell is not just going to copy and paste Jay Gruden's entire offense. I'm pretty sure he's installing his offense now that Gruden is gone. So why not break it down to the simplest form with Haskins and the rest of the offense's input, mainly Haskins's, and build it up to the deadly offense we hope to create with this young playmaking trio in Dwayne Haskins, Terry McLaurin, and Derrius Guice. We are far better off running a few plays well than running a lot of them wrong. Feel me? And speaking of Derrius Guice, Guice is finally back to practicing. Even though he didn't take a snap today, he returned Monday. But even if he is fully healthy and ready to play today, because he was sent to IR, he has to wait until after 8 weeks of his IR designation after he got hurt against the Cowboys on September 13th to return to football. So he can return as soon as week 11 against the Jets if the team chooses to clear him to play and activate him on that day. And Callahan said he looks healthy enough to definitely be ready by the Jets game. He also threw some compliments out there about Guice today, basically saying that him being out there uplifts the entire team and he has such a bright future. And for those of y'all who have given up on Guice already because of the repetitive injuries, remember that there are plenty of examples of NFL players having both horrible and lingering injuries and eventually overcoming them and having great NFL careers. There are several examples that I can expound upon for hours, but the one that matters the most is the one that's most relevant to us. Adrian Peterson. AD has suffered a myriad of injuries throughout his career, mainly that torn ACL, of which he returned from, and y'all already know what he did to the league. 2,000-yard MVP season on y'all head. Now also concerning practice, injury report time. Injury reports from Wednesday for a Sunday game don't usually give us a clear picture of who will play or not. The Thursday and Friday practices tell more, but as of Wednesday, Josh Norman and Steven Sims were full participants, so they look ready to go against the Bills on Sunday. Meanwhile, Vernon Davis, Quinton Dunbar, Josh Harvey Clemens, Case Keenum, Wes Martin, and Jeremy Reeves were all limited. So some of them may be ready to play by Sunday, while some of them, like Case Keenum, who is currently under concussion protocol, may not be ready by Sunday. Then there's the players who did not participate in Wednesday's practice at all, like DeShazer Everett, Monte Nicholson, Adrian Peterson, and Chris Thompson, who more than likely won't play this Sunday. But it isn't impossible, because Adrian Peterson especially may have just had a day off either for rest or a minor injury, and should be good to go Sunday. Also, Casanova McKenzie was sadly placed on IR again today, and defensive end Carroll Phillips was signed to the practice squad today also. And just in case if you're curious, on the Bills side of the injury report, Lorenzo Alexander, Maurice Alexander, and our old friend Ty Nsekhe did not participate in Bills' Wednesday's practice, while Kurt Coleman, Cody Ford, and Levi Wallace were all limited. And in very random news, Josh Doctson is finally back to practicing with the Vikings. Man, imagine if he played against us last week and had a great game with the Vikings.
Wait a minute. Just wait a damn second here.
Oh my God. And also in very random news, but it's actually pretty important, don't forget that Troy Apke is our starting safety as of right now.
It's over. We are screwed.
Until DeShazer and Monte return. Keep that in mind. Next topic, is Quinton Dunbar really underrated?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And not even just in the national media, but even amongst our fan base, the Redskins fan base. Is Quinton Dunbar underrated?
What do you got?
As unreliable as Pro Football Focus may be with certain things, like opinions and grading wise, Quinton Dunbar is the highest rated corner in the entire league for PFF with a 91.3 grade. And even if their opinion is a little off, he can't be far from the top 5 at least if they have him as the best performing corner in football grade wise this season. One fact, not an opinion, is that Dunbar has only allowed 204 yards in coverage through 8 weeks.
Facts, bro.
Which is really good, which landed him on the PFF midseason All-Pro team along with Marcus Peters, Justin Simmons, Marcus Williams, and Kareem Jackson.
Hey, look at us.
Look at us.
Huh?
Who would have thought?
Not me.
Now I know most, if not all of these 5 people typically cover the non-number 1 receiver of the opposing team any given week. So it's not fair to somebody like Marshawn Lattimore, who has to cover Julio Jones twice a year by himself, generally with the occasional safety help. But you can't fault Quinton Dunbar for going out there and performing very well when he is actually healthy. He is an elite tier number 2 corner when you take a step back and take this grade and praise with a grain of salt. So imagine Ohio State cornerback Jeffrey Okudah, the Jalen Ramsey clone, in this coming 2020 draft in April, following the number 1 wide receiver of every opposing team, and then Quinton Dunbar on the second. That's lockup.
Finally!
Just throwing that idea out there, just a little something. So before I get up out of here, what is this I'm hearing about the Redskins hiring actors to pose as fans at games to make our terrible fan attendance look a little less bad? Fake fans? Is this true? Like, is this what we really on, Daniel Snyder and Bruceless?
This is disgusting.
This is what it's really come to.
That? Yes, people are thinking.
Really, that?
I haven't seen any concrete evidence anywhere, but I'm hearing and reading about this in a lot of places lately. I was gonna ignore it as clickbait or a troll, but I'm seeing it a lot now. I just hope it's not true so I don't have to hear my Rams, Cowboys, 49ers, Colts, Giants, Steelers, Patriots, and a lot of Falcons fans' friends on my head about this. I don't even want to hear the joning and slander that will get thrown my way if this is reported to be true and gets out to the national media. Boy, it would be the darkest hour for me.
I'm terrified.
I'm gonna have to turn my phone on Do Not Disturb and not get on Xbox for a clean week to escape the barrage of words and laughter that will be headed my way. So please tell me these fake fans are fake news. But that's it for this regular season episode of Redskins Report. Thanks for the view. I'm gonna keep bringing y'all updates on the Redskins year round. I'm gonna bring y'all some Redskins reports, some debate topics, important updates like this, mock drafts, interesting views, rankings and grades on the team, random details and guides, game previews and reviews, and of course, the live streams are going to keep coming. Make sure y'all get in them comments and let me know. How do y'all feel about the Trent Williams situation? Who will cave in first? Are you excited to see Dwayne Haskins start this Sunday? Do you think Derrius Guice will end up having a successful career? Is Quinton Dunbar really that good? And do you believe the Redskins are actually hiring fake fans? Also, as usual, make sure y'all Dolomite fake punch that like button, favorite this video if you really felt it, subscribe, and most importantly, comment and share. And if you have a real strong, kind heart, if you just really warm inside, please donate. I have all of the information in the description of this video. Please donate. I'm working towards getting a far better laptop so that all of these videos, live streams, and everything will run so much smoother, no crashing, they'll look far better, it'll be more involved with y'all, everything. But again, thank y'all for the support. I'll catch y'all later. I'm out.